morning. My name is Angie Geffen, and I am the VP of Marketing at Site Black Box. Today, I'd like to focus on a concept called Generation Flux. And in response to the Generation Flux, we're also looking into the marketer's new toolbox. So up until, hard to hear me? You can't hear me. Is that better? I can sing. I can dance. I can dance. Okay, I'll try to speak up. So today in the traditional marketing toolbox, so you can imagine yourself in having a box next to your desk, and inside that box, you have all these marketing activities that you know well. You know well for years to work with, you know that work well for your industry, that work well for global activities, and some of which can be corporate websites, print brochures, and the like. Joint ventures, public relations, events, conferences, these are all things we can do actually in our sleep. We know they work well, we know our target audience, and we know their response. But what's actually happening with that toolbox today? What's the response rate in regards to those toolboxes? We can see here in the graph that in the center there's your target audience. What we're doing with these toolbox activities is we're going around and around this target audience, touch and go, but we're not actually drilling into what it is that they want to hear. The response rate as far as lead generation for these activities are slower than what we can do today. I'd like to introduce something called Generation Flux. Can anybody guess what flux stands for? Good guess. Flux is from the word fluctuation. And today, our target audience is defined as such. Let's look at the definition. Gen Flux is a psychographic fit that describes individuals that are comfortable in complex, ever-changing environment. You can actually apply that to yourself, because look at the characteristics of a typical Generation Flux person. Adaptability and flexibility, quick decision-making, ability to absorb information, need for instant gratification, and quick responsiveness. So what does that mean? If we're talking about a target audience today that actually is looking for immediate response, if they have the ability to absorb information faster, more accessible, what does that mean for us as our marketing methodology? What does that mean for us as understanding how we're going to communicate to them? We have to actually think about multiple channels of marketing, whereas opposed to long cycle activities, short cycle activities that are quicker response and more control. So, is this a challenge or is this an opportunity? Challenge is the new word for problem. Is it a problem? Are the traditional marketing toolboxes that we use till today a problem for our target audience? Let's look at it as an opportunity. So, VP of marketing, marketing managers, Marcom managers, any definition you give it, today we need to look at ourselves and think how we're going to engage. The word engage into the products that we're marketing, engage into the user experience and their flow, and engage into the sales flow. Our sales teams are going out there and taking the products. And that's our new Flux VP marketing responsibilities. So what's the methodology today? Creating demand from bottom up. Let me give you an example of creating demand from bottom up. Not too long ago, a company by the name of Pfizer, I'm sure you all have heard of it, pharmaceutical company. Up until not too long ago, they were advertising, print advertisement, commercial articles, PR, directly to the physicians, directly to the medical clinics, to the hospitals, trying to resell their products, trying to push their target audience to purchase more of their medication. But in fact, they realize they need to open up another channel of marketing, another channel of sales. And feeding to that flux gen, feeding to that immediate gratification and accessibility to information, they're actually advertising to the patient. So what's happening now? Are the doctors the target audience? Or the person who's suffering from depression is the target audience? We're now talking about B to B to C. What's happening today in this Gen Flux is that the patients are going into the doctor's offices saying, I have these symptoms. I know what I need and I want this medication. How do they know that? Pfizer is now marketing to the Gen Flux educated patient, knowing what they need. Are doctors out of a job? No way, never. But the patients are far more educated. This is now B to B to C. This methodology can be applied to any B2B concept company or any B2C concept company. So now that we know that we need to communicate to our target audience completely different in a quick response, in an educated format, we have a new toolbox. And there are so many tools inside our toolbox that we can use. I would like to highlight some specific tools that I believe can be effective in a situation where we're in low budget, in a situation where we have low resources, and in a situation where we can really be effective. What are companies looking for? They're looking for leads. They're looking to increase sales. They're looking for the marketing team to justify themselves and to show that they have some sort of effect on the bottom line, which we all know that we do. We have lead generation, which our colleague Amit will be talking about more deeply. Just as an example, we have email harvesting, landing pages, so many forms of lead generation. We have email marketing. What a golden tool. We have so many web-based email marketing systems that are very resourceful, that are quick in automation and cost-effective for the communications of our B2B to C. Wow, they didn't agree. Leave it for now. We have banner ads and SMS communications. What do all these particular tools have in common other than the many that we have? We're talking about a common thread of automation, which means that you can typically start your month by planning out all the emails you want to communicate, all the banners you want to upload in 1 or 2 business days, and they're automated for the rest of the month, causing communications directly to your B2B to C. Once you see the response in these activities, in these automated activities, you know how to fix them quickly, feeding the need for generation flux. Thank you.